Welcome to Confident AF Live, taking your mindset next level to get next year's results today with me, your host, Brandon Foster. Are you a badass peep with big dreams, ready to turn your unrealistic goals into reality? Confident AF Live is the gateway to enormous new opportunities and unlimited possibilities. The unrealistic can suddenly become realistic for you if you believe it. Are you ready to take your dreams and results to the next level? Then stay tuned as we help crack open the door to new ways of impactful thinking and believing about yourself with mindset practices for badass people like you. Confident AF Live starts right now. We're talking about time today, boo. Super excited you were here for another live podcast episode. Today we're talking about mindset hacks to expand time. Full disclosure, I don't have time to go through everything that I talk about into my digital courses or my high-level mindset mastermind. But what I do want to do today is I want to crack open the door of faith and hope that time can be a very different relationship with you. And I've really been experimenting in my own life and in my own business, taking some really advanced, and maybe they're not advanced concepts, but they're concepts that people forget or people aren't implementing. So they feel like secrets. They feel like they're things that people don't talk about. But basically taking a lot of incredible money mindset concepts that I've learned from Amanda Francis, that I've learned from Joyce Myers, that I've learned from Ken Honda, Jen Sincero, a lot of different people who have been teaching about the energy and frequency of money, the emotional intelligence of money, because everything in your life and your business has two sides, right? It has the belief side, the energy, the frequency, the mindset, and then we have those practical pieces, right? Which is what we actually do and what we don't do. And I know that the only way to change our lives in any area is to change our mindset first, do the forgiving, do the healing, do the reframing, integrate the new paradigms, the new beliefs, and then take action towards those, which is often scary because we're going through that terror barrier of the unknown and it feels weird. It's like we've always written with our right hand and now we're writing with our left hand and our handwriting is scribbly and messy and it doesn't look like it's working and it looks all messed up and da-da-da, but we're learning the skill. And actually, God's revealed to me this really cool, I think it was an ad that I saw on Facebook this morning. And it was a graph that showed the difference between increasing your taste and increasing your competency. And our taste for really good things goes a lot quicker and faster than our competency to create those kinds of things. So an example would be, imagine that, we'll just use chips and queso and Tex-Mex because I love it. So imagine that you've been going to like a low-end Tex-Mex concept restaurant, which by the way, I love high-end and low-end, so equal opportunity and eater over here. But in Texas, there is Taco Cabana. And I love Taco Cabana. When I was in college, I ate at Taco Cabana all the time. So you're eating Taco Cabana all the time. You love the cheese. You love the queso. You love the fresh made tortillas. Y'all, please let me know in the comments if you guys watch. Like, is Taco Cabana still a thing in Texas? I really hope it is because I love Taco Cabana. And so you go to Taco Cabana. You love Taco Cabana. And then all of a sudden you have this opportunity to experience something that is all organic and it's fresher made, higher quality ingredients. So the queso is more creamier, it's more richer. You have like fresher, more organic vegetables. They're fresher, they're locally sourced. Like, I don't know, it's like a high-end version of it. I'm thinking about, because I live in Tampa now, it'd be like going to like Miguel's Tex-Mex, which I really love down in Tampa. But now it's like your taste has gone up. Another example would be watching a low budget movie and then watching like a Hollywood blockbuster movie that has $120 million budget. And I know that people are going to say, but sometimes indies, the quality is just as good. And yes, it is. I'm just trying to wrap my head around a really good example for y'all for this. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job. But basically, we're talking about that once you taste a higher quality of food, once you experience a higher quality of art or higher quality of seeing or higher quality of anything in your life, your appreciation for that higher quality goes really fast. But if you're the one that's creating it and you're learning how to do it, that does not go very, very fast. So imagine that you are trying to become a chef. And so now I'm the person that's trying to make the taco cabana amazingness. Okay. Well, if I have no skill and never done it before, my taco cabana, my stuff is not going to be nearly as good as taco cabana. And it's definitely not going to be like Miguel's in Tampa. And as I improve over time, like I'm trying to improve and I'm trying to improve and I'm trying to improve, my ability to improve myself, my own growth is not going to be the same as my ability to drive to another restaurant and try a higher quality. Me making my own film or writing my own screenplay is not going to improve as fast as me reading someone's script that is going through film school versus an Oscar-winning screenwriter. Like it's so fast to increase our taste versus increase our competence. And so what I'm saying about all of this today is that as I talk about these things with time, I want you to be aware of that it takes time to increase your competence. But I'm going to be able to very quickly expand your taste, your value of these things by helping you digest new material. But it's going to take time for you to integrate it. Yeah. Okay, so how do we expand time? First of all, I think the two biggest challenges that every entrepreneur faces is their relationship with money and their relationship with time. I feel like and maybe the third one would be your relationship with doing new activities that are unfamiliar. I feel like if you have a great relationship with money and you have great money beliefs and you trust and believe you can make more money and that there's abundance of money and God always supports the money flow with you, if you truly believe that God's given you all the time you could possibly need to achieve everything you set out to do, and you're okay with stepping out into the unknown, you will be a badass, non-stoppable, rule bender, industry disruptor, entrepreneur. Like you just will. So today we're tackling the mindset piece. And going back to what I said earlier, I started to play with the principles that I've been learning around money, emotional intelligence of money, and applying those to time. And it's been really kind of cool. So the first one, I want to say there's 7 of these. So take out a sheet of paper, don't just digest, make sure you implement. But the first thing you want to do is really to stop all negative self-talk about time. And that's the number one process before you start to affirm positive things in your life is to eliminate negativity, because it's like trying to get hot water to come out of the faucet, but you leave on the cold water. Now you just have lukewarm water. We don't want to do that with our thinking either. So the first step is to stop all negativity when it comes to how you speak about time and time in your business and time, all aspects of time, which most people say, I don't have enough time. This is going to take too long to get done. I'm not moving fast enough. I'm running out of time. There's not enough time in the day. Like all those things are all about lack, which is in fear and opposite of who God is. And they're just not true, because God hasn't set us up for failure. So I believe you have all the time you need to do everything you're meant to do, to achieve every goal you're meant to achieve. There's always plenty of time. There's always plenty of time. There's always plenty of time. So number 1 is stop negativity. Number 2 is affirm something different. Affirm something different. So affirming something different would be, like I just said, there's plenty of time. You could say something like, I don't know how, but things just take less time than I think they will. I don't know how, but things just take less time than I think they will. If it didn't get done today, it didn't need to get done today. If it didn't get done today, it didn't need to get done today. Even though I don't know how it's all going to get done today, it will. Even though I don't know how it's all going to get done today, it will. Even though I don't know how it's all going to get done today, it will. I love knowing that there's more than enough time for what I want to get done today. I love knowing that if I want to get it done today, it gets to get done today. I love knowing that if I want it to get done today, it gets to get done today. So affirm something different, for sure. That's number 2. Number 3 is to be aware of open loops. So I learned about open loops really through screenwriting, because an open loop is when you create a question or a tab or a task in your brain and it's unresolved. And our brain likes to tie up loose ends. We don't like loose ends in our brain, which is why writers, when we're writing episodic television, we really love to create open loops at the end. So like there's closure for the episode, but then right before the episode's over, we open something else. And the reason why is because it creates an open loop in your brain so that you want to binge and watch the next episode. I think open loops have only become more important with streaming than anything else, because that's why we binge watch things that are streaming, is because it's an open loop. And we just want to keep getting through the whole thing till we know how it actually is going to end. And it's also why it drives us crazy when the episode ends, or the series or the season ends and we don't know how it finishes, like Yellowstone. Like, when are we going to get closure on Yellowstone? Because of those open loops. So what happens as a business person, as an entrepreneur, is we will often create open loops in our brain where we say, I think this task is going to take X amount of time. And so let's say it's social media and we say it's going to take us an hour to do that. Well, we look at the clock. We only have 45 minutes before we have to go pick up the kids from school, or 30 minutes before our significant other comes home for dinner, or whatever has you. And so because we have already decided it's going to take an hour, and now we have less time than that, 30 or 45 minutes, we then decide we don't have enough time, so we're not going to do it. And then we spend the next 30 or 45 minutes scrolling through social media, watching short form TikTok videos, and not really utilizing the gift of the time that we have been given, because we have a gift of those 30 or 45 minutes. So basically, when you're aware of open loops and you know that your brain is like, I'm not going to start something I'm not going to finish, because that's why your brain is afraid to start it, you have 2 options. You can either reframe it and say, well, I guess I only need 30 minutes to do this because that's all I got. I'm going to get done in 30 minutes. Well, I guess I need 45 minutes. That's all I need. That's one way to do it. You redecide what gets to be true for you. And that works beautifully. Done it a bazillion times. Or you can say, what can I get done in 30 minutes? What is a good project or task for me to do in 45 minutes? How many social posts can I get out? How can I move this ball forward in the next 30, 45 minutes? Because at least you're then utilizing the time, but you're not creating this open loop. So if you're going to do 12 posts, can I do 3? Can I do 6? How can you break that up into a smaller task? Which is actually number 4, which is how to make time more friendly for you, is when you break things up into smaller tasks, you're not having as many open loops. So it becomes much easier to utilize the time that you have and continually get things more done off of your checkbox. And you have to meet yourself where you are and where your brain is, because some people like to simplify tasks and just say, I have to get my social media done, and so it's like one check mark. I'm more of the person that like to break it out into small tasks, because then I have more things to check off. But when you have smaller tasks, it's easier to avoid those open loops, and it's easier to use small pockets of time and manage those activities well. The 5th thing you can do to help change your relationship with time is focusing on the activity and the action and not the quantity or the end result. So really it's being okay with an open loop and not making open loop an open loop. It's kind of like in the process of writing a book, it's days and days and days, and I know it's not going to be done in like one sitting because it's a book. But when you decide that the action itself means completion, the action of writing, then it becomes easy, and it's not a open loop, because it's, did I write today? Yes, I did. Check mark, done. We won. Yes, we did it today. Beautiful, right? Number 6 is giving time. So a lot of people think that you have a lack with money when money is not coming in. But you can also have a lack mentality with money when money does start flowing in, when you're afraid to release it. Because then you're hoarding it, because you're afraid it's not going to come back. And I feel like we do the same thing with our time sometimes. We're afraid to give our time to other people. We're afraid to volunteer, this was the whole reason I volunteered during the Christmas season, is because I wanted to give some time to other people. I wanted to do that. I wanted to give some time. And so giving time means that you feel like you have an abundance of time. That's the whole reason why we give, is because giving is a sign of abundance. Giving is, I have more than enough. I have more than I could need. And so when you give time, you're doing the same thing. And the very last of these 7 ways to create an expansion of time is to thank God for time. Thank you for all the time that I need today to get my social post done. Thank you for all the time required today to get my writing done. Thank you for all the time I need today to have some fun. Thank you for the time today to rest and relax in your presence. Thank you for the time today to reflect and experience gratitude. Thank you for the time of da-da-da-da. Just thanking God for the time for things before they happen is huge, because first of all, there's not any more powerful emotion than gratitude. And second, you can experience and show gratitude for things before they've actually happened, which is really, really powerful. So I do that with money. Thank you, God, for the money for this investment. Thank you, God, for the money for this in vacation. Thank you, God, for the money for bills this month. Thank you, God, for the money to take care of my family this month. Thank you, God, for the money to put into savings. Thank you, God, for this. Thank you, God, for this. Thank you, God, for this. You're going to do the same thing with time. You do the same thing with time. It works amazing in your life and inside of your business to do those practices. All right. So next week, we have an incredible episode called Are You Pushing Things into Your Future? We're going to talk about why sometimes it takes longer to manifest our dreams and our goals than we want them to, and to see if you are maybe the reason why. I love you all so much. If you haven't already subscribed to this podcast channel. Check out YouTube. I got some new stuff going on YouTube. And of course, we have additional trainings inside the Confident AF Facebook group. There's so many places with so many forms of encouragement from me to you. Make sure in all the places. I love you. Have a beautiful day. You have been listening to Confident AF Live, taking your mindset next level to get next year's results today, with host Brandon Foster on transformationtalkradio.com. Listen or watch live every Wednesday, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, where I help badasses like you with big dreams learn to take their impact and results next level, turning those unrealistic goals into reality. Confident AF Live is the gateway to enormous new opportunities and unlimited possibilities. For more information, get in touch with me, Brandon, at brandonrfoster.com.